Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome back to our new fight study. Today's study, it just came to mind, and I'll tell you why I chose this study for today in a little bit. But it's Joe Frazier versus Buster Mathis. Now, Buster Mathis, he looks a little hefty, he looks a little heavy, but he could move. And the reason I said that is because this is before Frazier faced Ali, and Mathis kinda moves like Ali. I'm not saying he fights like him, but there's definitely some closeness to this. I've studied this fight before and made a couple videos of it on Instagram, but I'm going to talk about it today in more detail. So yeah, Joe Frazier versus a big, I think he's 6'3", Buster Mathis. Let's see what happens. We'll take it play by play. The reason I chose this fight is I realized I never made a Joe Frazier study before. Let's go here. Let's see what happens here. Slip with the jab. Let's see. He's gonna go to the body right now. Under that right hand to the body again. It's a little bit hard to see. This is the best quality I could find of this fight, but even the other ones were worse off. It's just a little dark in this fight, so we really got to pay attention to what's happening. There's that left hook to the body, to the head by Frazier. Oh, that one just skimmed. I think he might have missed that one too. I think Mathis might have moved at that one. Now Mathis, he's pretty tricky and he's a little dirty. What he'll do is he'll hold you, pretend he's not going to punch, and then punch again. If I remember correctly, that's what he does. But he does move a little bit like Ali with his feet. Nice left hook. Same type of punches that Ali throws. If you pay attention, Ali throws those up, like those slow hooks against shorter fighters a lot, or did. Let's see right here. So Frazier misses that hook. That's an Ali punch right there. If you've never watched Ali, I don't know, someone that hasn't watched him, but that's almost the same way he would throw his punches. Like those shots right there. So yeah, this fight, you could see Joe Frazier working the body very early on. See, that's what I was talking about Buster Mathis, is he'll hold on the inside, pretend he's not going to do anything. He did this versus George Chuvalo, I think. See, look, he's just holding, and then he's gonna explode. Boom, boom. I don't blame him for that. It's a great move. But watch his footwork, his jab, where he holds his hands. He just looks like a heavier version of Ali, basically, in what I'm thinking. So Joe Frazier kind of got practice with this style before he faced Ali, and maybe Ali studied this fight. His camp maybe studied this fight also. That's another shot that Ali threw, that uppercut that comes up from down under with his hands low. The other thing about this fight is going to prove how strong Joe Frazier really was, how hard his punches were, how just strong he was, because he's gonna hit Buster Mathis with some shots on the inside that's gonna move Mathis back, and they're both standing on the inside, and it's pretty crazy. There he goes with that slip, nice little up jab, uppercut jab type thing. See Joe Frazier always moving his head, never still. Even if he takes a jab, he's always bobbing and weaving, always putting his if you watch his gloves, he's always watch his gloves. He's always hitting them together. You see how I missed it. If you go back a little bit, you'll see him like hitting his gloves together. And you see his slips moving. Really going to the body early on. Buster Mathis trying to get some action in. I don't think Buster Mathis gets talked about enough because he had very nice boxing skill and footwork for such a big guy. He wasn't just tall, he was heavy too. He could stay on his feet. See him changing directions a lot. Caught Frazier with a nice hook right there. Nice hook while Frazier was throwing that right hook. I think Ali must have, or his team must have studied this fight, and maybe Joe Frazier must have thought about this fight when he fought Ali. See, that's an Ali punch right there, that uppercut to the body. Not to the body, but Ali throws it to the chin. But the same way he drops his hand and throws it. I'm not sure what's happening right here. And that's it for round one. So Frazier going to the body early on from the first round. I don't know who this guy is. He might be famous. Sorry if I don't know him. Okay, let's skip that. Some holding, a lot of movement, some jabs, a couple nice hooks from Buster Mathis, nice defense. That's an Ali punch right there also, so I'm sorry, I'm going to keep saying that's an Ali punch. That way he just throws that right hand off the move, moving to the left. Watch this right hand right here. Boom. Frazier. Remember in my lesson about defense, the one I made 2 weeks ago, not the last one this Wednesday, but I think last week, I said about the shrinking thing that from Joe Frazier. If you watch, he just shrinks. So like this is his regular size, and then he's just gonna bend everything and kind of collapse on himself right here, and it's just a shrink, right? He just becomes like a ball. It's not really a slip or anything, and then he comes up with the hook. I've used this in sparring so many times, and it's one of my favorite defensive moves, because people, when they see you or an opponent, sorry, this video is kind of laggy. When an opponent sees you like this, they might aim for here. They're going to aim like you're such a big target, or not such a big target, but a bigger target than what you're going to become. So Buster Mathis might be looking here to throw his jab. Now it's different than a slip. A slip, you kind of just, you know, if you know a slip, you'll know the difference between a slip and this. But watch what Joe Frazier does. He just shrinks. He just gets small. Tucks his head down, bends his legs, kind of bends his back, and he just gets small. And then he's like a ball of energy that's going to explode up. That hook looks like it might have landed or missed. I can't tell. The screen is too dark. That hook definitely landed right there. Oh, no, mine it didn't. I might say something landed or didn't land, but I don't have the best eyes, and I'm not wearing my glasses, and it's pretty dark in here, so. Nice hooks. Nice move from Buster Mathis for going under a hook from Frazier. You don't really see too many tall people do that. And those shots are just killing to the body, to the head. This is what I was talking about. You will see more of it, but look how Frazier's just standing in front of him. Now, Ali didn't get as low as Buster Mathis like this. He stayed a lot more upright. Well, it went from color to black and white. So Buster Mathis bent his legs a little bit more, or more than Ali. Ali stayed, he didn't do this. No, I think this was a bad move by Buster Mathis. I think he was thinking maybe he could work on the inside with Frazier, but I think that was a bad move. We'll see why later on. But he does stand right here, right for Frazier to hit him clean. And from here, from this angle, his face is going to be open, the uppercut's going to land, and we're going to see the hook to the body land a lot. But this guy's 6'3", keep in mind. Probably over, I would say over 300 pounds maybe, 280 or something. So he does stand on the inside with Frazier for a little bit. Ali never did that, but his movement when he's standing tall and dancing, he kind of looks like Ali. Holding Frazier, trying to slow him down. See, that's what I was talking about. There you go. So he does sneak some shots in. He did this at a couple fights I've watched of him. And then he throws the hooks. He holds you, pretends he's calm. And I really like that move, because when you're calm on the inside and you're holding each other, fighters kind of relax a bit, and you could take advantage of that. Now I think this is where he made his mistake by bending over and standing in front of Frazier for too long. He let Frazier really get some nice shots in, which I think might have slowed him down. See right there, he tries that move again. Frazier just moving forward. There he goes to the body. But Mathis is missing a lot of punches. Joe Frazier's going under them. There's that right hook to the body. Nice body shot by... That's the shot I was looking for. That left hook to the body. That right hook to the body when Buster Mathis is bending down. And that just proves, like, look how big Buster Mathis is, and look what Joe Frazier's able to do on the inside when Buster Mathis stands in front of him. Nice jab. Like the way he went under Joe Frazier's punch, like right there, if you guys caught that, Ali didn't do that. He kind of leaned back a lot more. He leaned back a lot more. He never really bent under shots much. But I like how Mathis is moving nice when he's on his feet, and he's getting away from the hooks and the right hands from Frazier, but he does stand still for too long on the inside in the middle of the ring. Wasn't the best idea that he could make. Well, not the best game plan. I guess this video comes with all the ads too. Part of why I like old fights is the old ads, the FBI in color. What's going on here? Why'd the screen go black? Okay, let's see what happens in round 3 if Mustard. I was thinking DJ Mustard. If hook push. If Buster Mathis keeps dancing where he's going to stand in front of Frazier. I've watched it a year ago, so it's not that fresh in my mind. So I think that's why Frazier's style was just hard for Ali to fight. But I think this kind of helped him a little bit more because he fought someone very similar to him, a lot heavier. Of course, Ali was a lot faster and did other things. But nice jab from Buster Mathis. Nice hook from Frazier. Frazier just always coming forward. Frazier always looked like he had energy. He didn't, unless when he fought Foreman when he's kind of fat. But other than that, with the way he kind of keeps moving, like see, he's on his toes. He's not your typical come forward guy. He's on his toes. He's bobbing and weaving. He always looks like he has energy, and he gets his punches off from that way. He always has the energy to keep throwing because he's not standing still. You see how he kind of reminds me of a little bit of Holyfield. If you watched Holyfield, yeah, especially when he wasn't heavyweight yet. I think cruiserweight. He very similar, not the same style as Frazier, but the way they keep bouncing on their feet, very similar. I just caught that right now. I never really thought about that before. But staying moving like that and training your moving like that, like how Frazier's moving right now, it always gives you that energy to get something off. You're not stopping and going. You're always in movement. So it's even when you're tired, your body's conditioned to keep bobbing and weaving and getting punches off. See, there he is. There it is again. Look, Frazier, he kind of took a break on the inside, and then Buster Mathis goes after him. He laughs at him. He's like, all right. He didn't try it there. Nice move by not trying it there because Frazier, it's still fresh in Frazier's mind. Goes under that right hand right there. Tries to come. See, that's some Ali moves right there. Now, this is where he made his mistake. Maybe he just couldn't move for that many rounds without stopping. But if he stayed moving, it would have been a lot better for him. And look at Frazier. He's chopping down a big man. He's trying to put weight on his back, trying to tire him out. There's that body shot with the right hand. I'm going to do another study on Frazier, maybe a more clear one so we could really see his moves. This one's a little bit dark, but I wanted to make this fight not only for Joe Frazier, but to say how he fought someone like Ali. I don't know if that makes sense. And if Ali maybe watched this fight, or his team did. It's a car ad. Old school, love him. Ooh, that looks nice. Going in round 4, let's see if Mathis can still keep moving. Was that an uppercut for Mathis or for Frazier? That looked like it landed for Mathis. Push him off. The size difference is just incredible. But we're going to see it slow down a little bit where Frazier really starts getting off his shots. Right now he's still trying to catch Mathis for the most part. There he's digging the body. Uppercuts to the head. Nice jab right there. Nice move right there. His head's always moving. See, he kind of does that shrink again. He does slip to the left a little bit, but look, he just brings. It's different than a slip because he kind of ends up underneath the punch, and then he comes up with that long uppercut of his. Jab, sorry, but it comes up looking like an uppercut because he's coming up from down below. Moving. Getting a little blurry right now. Sorry. I just love the constant motion from Frazier. That's something that I used to do in my own boxing, is constant moving, not stopping and going. And by moving, I don't mean just his feet, but his upper body, his head, his hands. He's always moving. That was a nice move by Mathis to get, like, playing the Matador role right there. That was a nice move. Not the cleanest move in rules-wise, but that was a clean move in fighting terms. Yeah, I'm starting to see Holyfield and Joe Frazier a lot more now. That the way that Frazier keeps on, nice jab to the body, uppercut to the head, jab to the head thing. And the way Frazier keeps moving, his feet keeps bouncing on his feet, just little bounces, just to keep himself active. That was a nice right hand that landed for him. Nice uppercut right there. Very nice. Let's see if Mathis keeps on moving, though, throughout the fight. That was a nice shot right there, the left uppercut to the chin. Right about there. That's an Ali punch, like I said in the first couple rounds. So I think both Ali and Frazier benefited from this fight. Frazier from the experience, and Ali maybe from watching this fight, because, like I said, when Mathis is moving and popping his jab and those left hands he's throwing, those uppercuts to the head, very, very, very similar to Ali. I don't think Frazier fought anybody as close style-wise to Ali than Mathis. Nice hook right there. Mathis doing a lot of pushing off, trying to get Frazier off of him and making him reset, but that doesn't really bother Frazier because he's just going to come back in. I would have loved to see a fight between Frazier and Holyfield now that I see the similarities in their footwork a little bit. Those are the hooks that I was talking about Frazier. Right hook to the body, right hook to the head, left hook to the head, left hook to the body. When Buster Mathis was bending down, and Frazier's just an animal. Keeps on that bounce, keeps bouncing, keeps bouncing. And that's it for round number, I think that was 4. So old school ads, it's either shaving cream or hair product for men, cars or drinks. I guess that's what men were into back in the day and still are. Oh, this is round number 6. That was round number 5 and the one before. Nice hook to the body by Frazier. Jab. Nice uppercut hook by Mathis. You see Frazier is always kind of jogging forward, and that gives you a lot of energy, especially if you do it in training. Your body just learns not to get tired. Like, I'm gonna pause the video for a second. I'll talk quickly about this. Is a lot of people or a lot of fighters, I always say a lot of fighters, they what a lot of fighters do is they try to build up their extreme their extreme output, right? Or their top punches or whatever in the ring. And okay, I'm gonna re-say it. So what some fighters do is they try to build up like punching really fast, really hard, right, for in spurts or whatever, and they try to train their top level of endurance. But what's missing sometimes is the basic level of endurance. And what I mean by that is you'll see fighters, they'll throw really hard, really fast, as fast as they could, faster than anybody, but then they slow down or they stop and then they go again, they stop, they go again. And then when they get tired, the top level kind of goes down and now they're really not producing any movement. But when Joe Frazier, the way he just keeps moving, you'll see how he keeps moving. His base output, just by his movement, not even his punches, but his base movement is always there. So no matter how tired he gets, he always has that base movement of bobbing and weaving and being on his toes a little bit, like that little jog he does in the ring. So his basic cardio output is pretty crazy. Like, look right here, see how he just keeps bouncing his feet. Now he's a little bit more flat-footed, but in the earlier rounds we see, like right here, he's always moving his feet. And like I said, that's kind of what Holyfield did too. And it just raises your basic level of output movement-wise, so you don't get as tired as the fight goes on because your body's used to that basic level of movement, like how Frazier's doing here. And then you could add on the very fast and hard punches. And then when you slow down, you don't slow down to a stop. You still got some movement in you, and that gives you some energy to get punches off, get hooks off, get jabs off, just by keeping your body moving the whole time. See, Frazier is always moving his shoulders, his head, his legs, and no matter how tired he gets, even when when he's in the 15th round, he always has that basic level of movement that makes him look fresh, even if he's dead tired, and his body's used to that in training and in fighting. So I think that's something that some fighters miss, is they try to train the high level of their output and then slow down or stop, and they kind of go in like a up, down. But Frazier keeps that basic movement consistent throughout the whole fight. And I think that's part of why he looked so fresh in the fight, even when it was the 15th round. He always had something about him that was moving. Like I said, Holyfield, very similar, especially in the lighter weight classes. He always had that move in his legs, and then he was always able to get shots off and never look really tired in a fight, unless it was versus, what's his name? Moore, I think. Their first fight, I believe. Something, he had like a heart problem or something, but other than that, he was always on his toes. Now, this is what I said about Buster Mathis. Not a good idea to just stand there with Frazier in the middle of the ring and just do that. But yeah, so that's 6 rounds. The first part that's going to be of this fight. Yeah, this fight just came to my mind this morning. I want to talk about how this fight was pretty similar to Frazier versus Ali, how the similarities between Buster Mathis and Ali, and how Frazier's, a little bit about Frazier's style, but not too much. I think the video is too dark to really see what Frazier's doing, other than things I pointed out. I'll do another video of Joe Frazier that's a little bit more clear to see, and then we'll really see his move and study his moves. But yeah, so that's one lesson from today's video, is keep moving, keep active, and build up your basic level of output. So when you are tired, you always have that basic level. And when you have energy, you could throw fast and punch hard, but then you don't stop. So some fighters, they punch really fast, really hard, then they stop. And then when they get tired, you could really tell that they're tired. But some fighters keep that moving, that engine moving, and they never show true exhaustion. Okay? Thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.